Oh, you know what I did? It's starting, but I didn't make it public. You guys, I have no idea. I've been trying, and I have to edit this and make it public. Hang on. How do I do that? Okay, wait. Okay, cool. I actually can do it while we're you guys, I've just been like trying. I'm sorry I'm not looking at you. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this link, this other link, in a second. You guys, I have so much to tell you. You're like, you do not. Yes, I do. I'm just going to have a conversation with myself. Is that okay? You're like, you do a lot. Okay, let me make sure so everybody knows. And I know some people are there, and I'm going to look and see, you know, I wonder if I should put, no, I think I deleted it. Did I delete it? No, I deleted it off of this. Let me see if I can add, I don't know if I can add it. You're like, we just don't care. Oh, because I don't have a channel in there. I didn't add it. Let me just see if I can. It was so frustrating, you guys. This has happened. Like, it's not me. You're like, we don't. Just get on with it. But this is the thing. When I have people that have paid for a class, and there's, oh my God, you guys, I freak out. Like inside, on the outside, you know how like a duck looks like it's just like not doing anything, but underneath it's like doing this. Yeah, that's me. Let me see if this one goes. And then we're just moving on. I don't even care. I'm just going to leave it like that as long as it doesn't mess up the one we have. You guys are like, it might. Hang on. I have to find you again. This one. Okay. Damn it. I'm here. Okay, hi. Diana and Allison and Shannon and Carly and Kelly and oh my God, glad you have a lot to say. Hope it's good news. I don't know. Is it good news? Is there good news? I don't know about that. You guys, we can't. Oh my gosh. First of all, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Yarnitarian. All things life, yarn, knitting, yarn, and fiber. All high on Flamin Hot Cheetos and cheap American beer. Raw! I am going to get, because I have to get, you guys, I've got to get signs for my, I have a front gate. This is my property. So my property is in the front where my house is. And then it's delineated by a fence, like a 5, plus foot fence. And then there's the back where all the sheep are. And so the gate looks exactly the same, but it's on a different road. So I put instructions in my Airbnb because I don't want them coming to into my house, into my yard. There's a couple reasons why. One, because typically, like my husband just gutted the garage, so the entire garage, it looks like we're having, people that like are in a perpetual yard sale. Have you ever been to those places where their house and their yard is a yard sale always, right? So that's what it looks like. It looks really trashy. And then the front of this studio, you guys, is nothing but 55-gallon drums in boxes that are like not even like, they're like lopsided, and there's fleece, and there's all these jackets that are ripped for the sheep. I mean, it looks like a trash dump out here, literally in front of my studio. It is not nice. So every once in a while, like I want to say, 0.01% of the time, someone will come to the front gate. But I also have a Great Pyrenees, and she will bite. I mean, she will. And she's going crazy always when somebody comes to the gate. So I don't know, like I would never open a gate when a dog is barking like that, because she's really not kidding. And you can tell she's not kidding. And plus, she's big, very big. Anyhow, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and my dog's going crazy. And the only way it can go that crazy is if there's like a predator. And I was like, I'm just going to grab the 22. And then I was like, shit, the 22's in my tack room. So that means I'm going to have to go to the barn, right? So I like throw on a trench coat. I don't have anything on under. I throw on a trench coat and like rubber boots. And I go outside, and there's these people out here in front of my studio that, like I said, it looks like it's a shed. It's like a long shed. It's like 22 feet long, 16 feet wide. And like, it's just got trash. And they had to go past the trampoline that has all the shit from my garage. And just let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff out there. It looks horrible. So they had to go, and the dog is going nuts at them, like so nuts. And they're out here with their phones, like looking around in my front yard for their cottage. because they didn't read the instructions that are very clear. The first thing it says, do not park on Di Portola. Go to the first road to the left, which is Calle Rocinante. There's another gate. There's a side gate. Park on the side. Do not drive in. And I mean, it's really, there was a couple reasons why it really makes me mad. It makes me mad, one, because they're thinking that I'm this loser because they didn't know and this is such a hard place to find. No, it's not a hard place to find. And you have a dog that's vicious, that's trying to attack us. No. You didn't read and came to the wrong place. So then I meet them back there, because now they're all trepidatious, right? Because this dog's been like going crazy at them, and they're like been wandering around my front yard is probably like, I don't know, half an acre or something like that. Anyway, so I meet them back there, and I go over, and the whole thing was really uncomfortable. It was terribly uncomfortable. And then of course, so they go to bed that was like 1 o'clock, so they're probably like 1:30 or 2. And the next morning, I'm out there. I didn't fall back asleep, so I was up from 1. Once they did that, I couldn't go back to sleep. And so I asked the guy, I see him outside, and I'm trying to be friendly, even though I want to throttle him, right? And I was like, how was your sleep? He's like, well, mine was okay, but my girlfriend's was really bad. And then I was like, great, these people are just going to crucify me, right? Like, they're going to crucify me in the ratings. And you're like, is there an end to this story? Well, not really. That was kind of and then we offered, I was really nice. I offered to take them to the wedding. It was only like 6 minutes away, like literally 6 minutes away. It's like, don't get an Uber for that, because the Uber's going to have to come from town, and it's going to be really expensive. It's going to be like $20, and we'll just take you, right? But anyway, I'm going to have to make these signs is the point, and I'm going to have this sign made too, but it says, I don't know, this isn't the fucking gate. That's what I want the sign to say, but I think that's rude. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say something that's firm but nice. And I was thinking about putting, we could lock the gate, but the problem is that makes it more inconvenient for us. You guys are like, why do we have to listen to you complain? I'm gonna show you my baby thing that I made. Remember, I told you the baby, what's it called? Baby pod. And you guys, don't laugh. You can laugh, but don't screenshot it and then like show everybody and say, this is the kind of shit Natalie knits. No, this was just an experiment. Anyway, and if you want the pattern, I can try and tell you kind of, sort of, but it wasn't really a pattern. You're like, wow, you don't like to use it. No, I don't. I like to use the shell of a pattern, the shell, and then do the rest of the stuff that I want to do. Anyway, so I'm gonna. Then the other thing is, I mean, people don't listen. I don't know why. I don't. I really don't know why. Because it's like, if I'm going to the Hilton or something like that, that's no big deal. Like, that you're gonna find it. But if you're going to someone's house, you might want to read the instructions that they sent you, right? I mean, it says, because the listing for my property says wine country working sheep farm. That's what it says. It doesn't say city paved roads. And in there, it also says it's a disintegrated granite road, or, what is it called? It's actually not disintegrated. I was reading about that actually, because I was going to get some DG, and it actually is decomposed granite. So anyway, you're like, details. Anyhow, so it's like decomposed granite road, really wide, but it's very bumpy. It is bumpy, I'm not going to lie. And so anyhow, so I say that just in case that's going to be very important for people. They're going to freak out if they're like, oh my God, the road was bumpy. Because if you're in labor, it's not a fun road, and I know, because I've done that. It's not pleasant. Anyway, I'm going to read what you guys are saying. I'm so sorry it took so long to get on. I was here actually early. Lambing. You guys. So much, I can't even tell you how many. I actually can't tell you how many babies I have. But it's a lot. They are just everywhere. And the goats now are starting to be born, and they are so flippin' cute. And then they get old and you have to worry about little ice and the scurf. And I'll tell you a little more about that. Okay. Hi, Samantha and Ellie Mae and Scott. Oh, what is happening? Life. And Jamie. Oh my God, you guys. I'm not kidding you. Okay. So the other thing is I really want to go. So now I really, really want to go to the other part of the forum, of the landmark forum. I really do. Because I'm not kidding you. It like every aspect of my life, I alter the way that I behave based on it. Doesn't mean I still don't want to kill people, etc. But it makes me, I've been a tireless worker since I've gotten back. Like the last year, I've been completely brain dead and wasn't able to get anything done because all I did was worry. And it was like a vortex of just confusion. I felt like my head was like spaghetti. my brains. And so, but now, like, I'm completely on task. I'm shearing all of my sheep. I'm gonna have a sale, I think, this weekend. Shearing, and a lot of the fleeces are ruined because I didn't change the blankets, you know, when I should have, etc. And I'm just gonna tell you, I've been suffering because shearing through felt, that's what you're doing. So I have the Corriedales, and they're, you know, think of them more like merino, right? Even though merino is a fine wool, these are medium wool, but it's more like that. It's pretty fine and very dense. And I'm having to shear these, and they're felted, and it is like, they're coming off in giant pelts, and the amount of energy that it takes, and they're so heavy. They're so heavy compared to my, well, a lot of my onesies and Teeswaters are heavy, but these are, they're heavy because they're pregnant, and then it's this, they're felted, and it is so, I can't even tell you how much energy it takes. But I promised myself that every single day I would shear, and I did this, like, I want to say 9 days ago, and I've actually kept my promise to myself. I'm actually pretty good about that because I think one should do that. You should, if you make a promise to yourself, you should keep it. But then, so I was suffering through all these Corriedale fleeces, many of which were ruined. And then I got to the yearling Teeswater fleeces. Oh my God. Then it was like fun. And the Teeswaters are evil. And so are the Onesiedales. They kick and they fight. But it's so, even though the Corriedales are so sweet and just lay there, it doesn't matter because the amount of strength it takes to get through, it's just brutal. It's probably the first time in my life where I was so happy that, you know, I was shearing a Teeswater or Onesiedale, because they kick your legs. Like, I have, my legs end up being really, really bruised, and my arms, I end up with all these bruises on my arms because they'll hit me like right here. They'll make a, like, they kick and they hit you. So I'm just a mass of bruises. Literally. On a good note, I had my blood done because I have to have that thing done for my neck, the MRI. I kept saying a CT scan, but it's an MRI. And I guess it's contrast. They do contrast? That it doesn't matter. They wanted to have. Yes, they must be because it's contrasted and non-contrast. But anyway, he's like, "Oh my God, your blood work is amazing." I'm like, so the beer and the Cheetos and the hot tamales and the peanut M&Ms are doing me well, and he's like, perfect diet. I'm not kidding you. You guys, that is the base of my diet. Like, Sean now buys those family packs of peanut M&Ms. Oh my God. Like, and I it's like the carrot sticks I walk by and I just grab it and I just start throwing them in my mouth. They are awesome. And there's something, I think they almost taste better in the family pack. I don't know why. Maybe because, you know, it's like never ending. There's a lot in there. I don't know. Is it like a half a pound or something? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Ooh, babies are everywhere. Who shows up to an Airbnb at 1 a.m.? Jamie, don't even get me started on that. That's the other thing. Like, I don't even mind if they come, but like, I had their lights on and I had everything was perfect. I will tell you the good thing. Okay, I can't even believe I did this, but okay. So you guys know I can be a total space cadet. So what happens is, I was showing them the refrigerator and I just opened it. I'm the one that cleaned it, and I did a really good job cleaning it. So good that when I opened the refrigerator, there was food in it from the person that had been there for 4 days. She was at a horse show, but she was 19, you guys. Okay, she put in the refrigerator a gallon of ice cream. In the refrigerator. Yes, I know. So I was like, oh my gosh, because at first I almost said, is this yours? I actually almost did. And I was like, oh my God, you must be exhausted. Anyway, and then I was like, you guys, I'm really sorry. I said, this is my fault. It's my fault. I said, I like self-validated that I had done this because I actually did clean their place really well. And I changed all the linens, like everything, like the duvets and everything. So anyway, so I was trying to clean that out and I didn't have my glasses on. Oh man, it was bad. There was so much, it was chocolate. It was like Rocky Road or something. A gallon. And so of course most of it was melted. I was so pissed off. But that, you know, then I was like, she's 19. That's 19-year-olds probably think, oh, well, you know, it's almost cold enough. Anyway, but yeah, coming in at 1 a.m. really irritated me. But even though I actually don't care, I don't care because normally they make it to their cottage themselves. They don't have to wake me up and then keep me up the rest of the night. And then Ellie Mae says, jealous first year in 5, there's no lambs. Oh. So that'll be me someday. And pet and person products, hi from Oregon, hi from California. And Michelle says, I'd like to buy a fleece this week, but the husband will cut me off if I buy anything before payday. Yeah, no kidding. I understand that. And then Shannon's like, cool that I'm that healthy. Okay, just to let you know, I was like, I'm sure I have to be a diabetic. Because actually I said my diet did I add alcohol? Because that's seriously, I don't know why I'm not, because the amount of sugar I eat is, it's staggering. It actually is staggering. I think there is something to do with like body chemistry, and this is like what the Ayurvedic doctors will say. You know, the ones like from East India, and they'll say that your dosha, right? Whatever you are, and I guess I'm fire. I'm like fire, and I want to say fire and air. Great combination. And so based on the way that your doshas, that's the way that you should eat. And so I saw this Ayurvedic doctor, and he's really well known in the yoga community here. Arun is his name. Anyway, and he was telling me that I should eat a lot of meat and I should eat a lot of sugar, but not refined sugar. I was like, well, what fun is unrefined sugar? It's like, forget that. But he did get me to stop. You know what he got me to stop? At the time, this is like 10 years ago, I drank Diet Coke. He's like, don't drink any more of that ever. And I didn't. I stopped that day. And you know, it is a bit addictive, but I stopped that day. I stopped drinking it. But the funny thing is that what he told me to eat was basically my diet, except for it is a lot of sugar. It's just not unrefined. It's obviously refined sugar, because you're like, how do I find peanut M&Ms with unrefined sugar? It doesn't exist. And all this stuff, like I get so tired of the whole thing, even about, you know, the organic thing. I don't begrudge anybody who does it, but for me, it's just like, I know in animals that, you know, and I've had this conversation before, in animals, we have to vaccinate them, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. And like Newcastle's disease, you guys, did you know that that's the thing right now? Nobody will ship to Southern California, to my area, to like Riverside and San Bernardino, and they actually, it's about 10 miles away. They were just going and slaughtering all the birds. It's on the website. It's on the CDA website, where they're like, we're sorry, even animals or birds that have tested negative for Newcastle's. And see, Newcastle's, if they're vaccinated, they're going to be fine. So, I mean, here we are. And so why is Southern California having this outbreak? This is what it's reported to be, and the people are in the know, is that they bring game birds from, you know, from Mexico, and there's a lot of, there's, you know, cockfighting. I just had to say cock, I'm sorry. There is. So that's what they, you know, theorize. And so they destroyed like an entire, not a hatchery, but I want to say it was an egg laying place, and a couple of, 2 egg laying places, like production, and then a bunch of local people. And then they had said on the website that even people that believed that they were not going to be affected are going to have all of their birds euthanized. Everything. So, and typically exotic Newcastles is what will get, like ducks and geese, but and turkeys, not the regular Newcastles, but this one, they said everything. They said peafowl, guinea hens. In other words, like if they were to do that to me, oh my God, I would lose, you guys, like, if they did that to me, I would lose probably 150 birds. And it's like I said, it's 10 miles away. Like it's, so and the funny, it wasn't funny, haha funny, but I had ordered, I didn't know this, and I had ordered, and the post office won't accept them anymore. I'd ordered, I want to say it was 25 turkeys and like some Sumatra chickens, a few Sumatra chickens. And so they were supposed to be shipped on the 13th, and they came on the 15th, and every single one was dead. Yep, every single one was dead. So they weren't even, the post office wasn't even supposed to accept them. They were coming from Vallejo, California. It took them, it said on the thing that, they told me it shipped on the 13th, but on the thing it said shipped on the 12th, and it was the 15th at 11 o'clock when I got them. How on earth, when you're in Vallejo, which is like 7 hours drive, does it take 3.5 days? Of course the birds are going to be dead. I mean, it like boggles my mind. And the problem is that I can't get them, because if they were already en route, they would accept them, but they won't accept them. So if I call up any place and try to get them shipped, they'll look at my zip code and they'll say, we can't ship to you. So that's the story on that. It's Southern California, except I think Huntington, which is LA, is also included. So it's LA, San Bernardino, Riverside. And then on the side, it's like all the wealthy people in Orange County. Orange County isn't part of it. So I'm like, I'll just have the bird shipped to Jenny. Anyway, it's at Newcastle's. Nice, huh? So in my argument about, you know, the organic, that's the problem, is that if those people had, those production places, they probably are making organic eggs. If they had vaccinated them for Newcastle's, which, okay, I don't vaccinate for Newcastle's either, because I actually have it in my refrigerator, oddly enough. Like, that's a great place for it. But catching all of them, you guys, I have game birds, and they roost high. And the peafowl roost high, too. And, you know, talk about a rodeo if I try to catch them. I have some really bad, I have a giant scar here from a talon. Okay, moving on. Let's see. And then Pet and Person Product says, my daughter and I are groomers. That's such a great, I was actually thinking about what a great talent that is, because I had to do my standard poodle, and I do him with the shears. I really do. And he doesn't like it. I'm going to tell you right now, at all. And so one time I actually gave him some Ace Promazine, which is horse tranquilizer, and it didn't help. It didn't help at all. Yeah, he was still trying to bite me. Oh, this is what I did, though. This is what I did. I took a rope, and I made I made a, what is it? What is this? Like a half knot like this. And I put it around his muzzle like this, and tied his muzzle, because you know it's long since he's tied his muzzle, and then then had that around, and then wrapped it around like it was a sheep halter. And then I just sheared him. I didn't use the solid down tube one. I used the ones that are machine and hand ones. And I sheared him with those, and he kept trying to bite me, but because that was tight enough that he couldn't open his mouth, he could just hit me with his nose. I felt like a genius, actually. Because my son, who's 27, and really a badass, he's like, I'm not doing it. No way, because the dog bit him like 3 times. I'm like, yeah, but what dummy gets bit 3 times? I was like, I mean, if I got bit once, I'd make sure that I figured out some way to not get bit again. Let's see. And then Pet and Person Products is saying, I don't know. I am a tireless worker. I love hard work. And then Shannon says, does it travel on your feet? Yes. I mean, you guys, this is the thing. Can you imagine having that in your area? It's really, Newcastle, I'm telling you, it's like, as the crow flies, it's like 10 miles to Menifee. That's the place they're like destroying the birds. And 10 miles is nothing. Nothing. And then Pet and Person says that that is genius. No, it really actually was genius, because he couldn't, I'll tell you why, because when I did that, and then it couldn't come loose because it was tied around his head. So I used I used baling twine, polypropylene twine, and did the half knot, tied it around like this, and then I tied him really tight as much as I could. He had like this much room, but he could still, they can still move their body. It's amazing how good they are at being able to bite you if they want to bite you. I mean, it is. And he like grazed me a couple of times, but I also was I was smart, because I didn't put my face, leaning towards him. Like I would have to look, but I would definitely be in the position of I'm leaving dodge. And then I was thinking, why don't, I guess it's the idea of the muzzle, when people walk their dogs and they have that one that attaches to their nose. I guess it's the same idea, because their body has to go where their head goes, and so that's like my thought process is, wherever their head is, their body is going. That's just the way it is, and that's like part of the way that I work with my sheep. I always, you control the head, and then you control the body. And sure, there's ones that you'll have the head down and they'll be able to get their body up and their head's still down, but it's if their head's down, they're not going anywhere. And it's pretty easy to just, have one hand and just reach and grab the offside leg and just pull. And then, they'll end up being able to roll. I mean, I've had to, because I am not that big, I've had to really, it's all finesse. Men can can absolutely muscle through these animals. But someone like me, there's no way I can muscle. Everything has to be finesse. And I mean, I can't even tell you how hard they kick. And the way that they kick, it's not that they're like a horse where it's gonna kill you, but the way that they kick, they use their entire body and they throw it. And when their hooves are very sharp, and I'll tell you, that's the thing that I'm always concerned about is their hooves getting in my face, because they take their 240 pounds and like they throw their front like this, and then their back legs come up like that. I mean, it's a bit of a nightmare shearing Wednesdaydales and Teeswaters. They are something, and it's really hard when they are pregnant, because they can't breathe. And mine are a little overweight and they can't breathe because of that. So they think they're fighting for their life. So if I had ones that weren't overweight and weren't pregnant, it would be a lot easier to handle them. But because they're overweight, and they're pregnant, it's a nightmare. But I'd still rather do it than do a Corriedale that was felted. And then she said, those ears, my poodle's ears are a nightmare, because he's always got an infection. And then Pet and Person is saying leverage. Yes. Okay. So let's see. The other thing I was going to tell you besides that, and the fact that I I'm going to be doing that sale. And then I'm really getting the 501c3. That's the thing. I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff with that. I'm really wanting, I mean, that's like, well, I want that to be the focus, but I have to like get all of my Airbnbs together. And I'm building, like, we have the 2 trailers. My friend's like, you need to do one, because the horse trailer that I have with the living quarters is so nice. I mean, it really is. It is so nice inside. And he's like, you need to like clear out the back and make that into an Airbnb, because the back where the horses are. He's like, I don't, you know, do something and put something cool in there. Like, I don't know, like make it like, I don't know, like a nursery or something like that. But just, what is it? Greenhouse, like a greenhouse in there. Do something like that and make it like really cool and all horse people. And it is true. There are so many horse, like there's Galloway Downs, and across the street that's a huge horse facility. It's a 125-acre horse facility. And then, you know, down the road there's another one, and there's horse shows all the time. And people, you know, come, especially it's the English people that really, man, they throw down money. I mean, honestly, I have never seen people spend so much money except for racehorse people. But the English riders, oh my God, the amount of money that it costs them to go somewhere and to have like, oh, it's ridiculous. It's outrageous. I don't know how anybody does it. And then Shannon says, you just throw out the felted fleece. Yes, I do. And then Patent Person Product says, my name is Darlene. Hi, Darlene. And then, but anyway, yeah, so there were 2 that were completely felted. You guys, I can't even tell you how miserable it is. And a lot of them, but I did dye. Oh my God, I don't know if this color is going to come out, if you're going to be able to see it. I dyed this stuff. It's so beautiful. The color, it's iridescent. I'm going to do that again. Remember where I was like, you can't see iridescent? It's hard to see iridescent when, oh my God, it's a lot of mohair. But I don't know if you can tell the iridescence. This is going to be in the sale, like it's going to be by the ounce. Some of it, can you see? Like like it's got more than one color in it. It's like a glaze. It's blue, and then it's got like an overtone of like this purple. It's so outrageous. But I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to see if you guys can see it up, because I can see on my monitor. Also known as a computer. Let's see. You can't see it. It looks so bad. This is so bright in real life. It's so beautiful. You guys are like, it looks actually really bad. It's super soft because most of it is mohair. So amazing. Oh my God. Like, I want to spin it right now. And I don't even want to spin. It's so sad that it gets degraded when it goes to the internet, but it is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And then I dyed some like wine color and like plum colors. It's so, I had a lot of fun doing it, because there were fleeces that, you know, they didn't look. I'm going to show you one. You guys are like, we don't care now. You know, you're going to care about this one. You're going to care. Because it's crinkles. So a lot of my Corriedale fleeces were completely ruined, but there were a couple that weren't. And this is one that wasn't. See? Crinkle cut fries. I can't even believe that something can grow this. Like, it's like metrically perfect. It's metrically perfect. Isn't it? Okay, so I promised I was going to teach you something. Okay, so this is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you that one of the things that we can tell when we look at fleece, and I'm going to see if I can find another one. Here, let me find this one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, like, you know how everybody, like in the alpaca industry, they all do like laser scanning and etc. So I can, if I look at a fleece that's like this with this crimp, this bold, gorgeous crimp, and then I see this fleece with this tiny crimp, tiny, there's no question that this one's going to be finer. There's just no question. Even though, like, I can hold these and they feel, they're both next to skin soft. I mean, once something's like, you know, 16 microns, I don't know how, can you really tell if it's like, or like, let's say 18 microns, can you really tell the difference between 18 microns and let's say like 20 microns, or can you tell the difference between 18 microns and, I don't know, 15 or 16 microns? I don't know if you really can. I actually don't know. I don't know if our skin can feel that, right? Maybe old skin can't for sure. But, and then I look at, and the other way I can look at the tips and see how blunt that tip is. And I know that this is going to be a fine wool because it's so blunt. And the crimp is so tiny. And then I see this and it's kind of blunt. And then it has this little tiny point. And that tells me it's a medium wool because it has that point. And that comes from the long wool because this is a Corriedale fleece, this is a merino fleece, and the Corriedales originated from well, New Zealand and Australia both like to claim credit. They kind of emerged at the same time, and I want to say it was 1874. And they tried taking these merinos and crossing them onto Lincoln long wools, and that wasn't producing the animal. They wanted a dual purpose animal, and then they ended up taking them and crossing them onto English Leicesters, which was the winning combination, and they had more hybrid vigor and were healthier and hardier than the merinos, than the straight merinos, of course, because they were crossbred. And at the exact same time, refrigerated trucking happened, and so it just made the Corriedale breed just boom, because they were able to take these carcasses, these animals, and send them in refrigerated trucks to like England, etc. And the Corriedale now is the second most populous breed in the world. They're awesome, and they really are an amazing breed. I mean, I love merinos too, but they're brutal to shear. They're brutal to shear because it's so dense, and then they don't, the shorter the staple in over a period of a year, the finer the fleece is going to be. And so if I had a 13 micron fleece, it would probably be that long in a year. And how do I know? Because I've had it. I've had 13 micron fleece. And then I bought from, I bought Charlet Merino from Australia, and Charlet is a management system. So ultrafine merino, and a lot of people will say, well, I posted something about Charlet Merino online, and even somebody who had put a picture of them and they just shot like a mountain lion, and they were giving me a hard time about me liking Charlet Merino and that it's cruel. And I'm like, wait a minute, we have like selective integrity here, or selective morality. Because I don't know, I don't kill, there's predators I'll kill. Possums are pretty much the only one. Because we keep infiltrating their territory. So I would never shoot a mountain lion. I just wouldn't. But will I wear Charlet Merino? Yes, I would wear Charlet Merino, because the animals they pick, they take only animals that have been castrated, and ones that can withstand being in an enclosed area. And so they're in like a barn, and they have slatted floors, and they give them grass hay, etc. And then they keep them jacketed. And only the animals that can withstand that are allowed to do it, because an animal that is upset and that isn't happy won't produce good wool. And they won't produce anything, good meat, good anything, good eggs. I don't care what kind of animal they are. If they are being mistreated, they will not produce well. And so anyway, and then they can grow 13 micron is the finest that I've seen. And technically anything under 13 microns isn't really usable as a textile fiber. It can be a novelty type fiber, but it can't be actually for commercial purposes, because the staple length will be too short, because as fiber gets finer, the staple length gets shorter. We're talking about protein fibers now. You're like, oh, that's so interesting, but we don't care because we're using yarn. Sorry. That was what I was going to teach you. Okay, are you ready to see my... Okay, I'm switching, but you guys, I'm afraid you're going to laugh at it. Okay, well, first of all, I wanted to put a long tail on my rat, but then I was like, what if the baby chokes? So this is the baby pot. It looks like a hand puppet. But see, it has this thing, and the baby goes in there, and then it has a really small tail, so it doesn't... You're like, that's a stupid tail, but I didn't want it to choke. But look at its little face. And this is horsehair. So I just put horsehair in there. I think it's the cutest thing. I think I put the eyes on a little, I think they're crossed. But my friend was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, no, it's not. I would totally put my baby in the rat. The thing I don't like about it is because it's that it's like a roving yarn. It's felty. I think it's super cute. Especially if you like mice, which I don't right now. In the garage, my husband's he's on a mouse hunter right now. I'm like, oh my God, that's so masculine. How many did you catch today? It's only one, but yesterday I think he got 4. It's I'm so proud of you. Actually, I'm proud of him. Because now, the garage, where there's food, and we have mice so plenty. Anyway, it is cute, Shannon. And then Carol says, streaming on my 55-inch TV. My husband would love a 55-inch TV. Let's see. And Shannon does think it's cute. And then Diana loves fleece education. And then Darlene thinks it's cute, that it's adorable. Oh, you guys don't hate it? Really? Okay, because like my friend was like, please don't ever show me that again. She's like, who would want, and I'm like, who wouldn't want a mouse baby pod where the baby slips in it right here? I actually put my dog in it, but he's a little big for it. He just looks stupid. It looked like I was putting him in a Christmas stocking. Because, I mean, it kind of has that look, huh? Like a Christmas stocking, you can, I don't know. Anyway. Basically, you're knitting a hat, right? And then you are like, even though, you know, the bottom is slightly shaped, right? And then you just do the stuffed animal head of something. If I had like a Yorkie or something, like Kristen's dog, I could stuff it in there. Actually, Jenny's dog. Jenny's dog would look really cute in there. And then you could put like things on it and make it a front pack. Silly. An African pouched rat. I want to look at that. African pouched rat. Do you know we're not allowed to have hedgehogs here, and I want to say gerbils. We're not in California. California, I'm telling you guys, I don't know if I can live in this state for much longer. I keep saying that, but I can't move because I can't afford to move. But if I could, I think I would, because I think the whole state has gone nuts. I mean, I really do. It really has gone nuts. It has. They're basically they're shoving all of the people that are Native Californians out. And I swear Native Californians aren't crazy. It's the people that come here. And if you guys go to, I mean, Hollywood is they wear like the way you're wearing like Spider-Man costumes all the time. Like people walk around like that. And I'm not talking about Spider-Man costumes that look clean, by the way. I'm talking about Spider-Man costumes that they've probably been worn for months. I know. Oh my God, I want to show you this felted thing. Just because I just saw it as I was talking to you. You guys, I have to walk through so many bags. If I eat shit, I'll just, scream out help. And maybe my husband will come and help me. Either that or have sex with me. Just kidding. Okay, not really. Okay, so here, look at her whiskers are a friend made this. Is it the cutest thing? And like her whiskers are all sweet. Mine are just like a bunch of whiskers just stuck through something. So dumb. You guys, I think I have no pattern baldness. I know you don't care. Anyway, so are you guys interested? Don't forget, we're doing the knit along. We're doing the knit along. And it's going to start April 2nd. And tomorrow is the last day because, you guys, I didn't realize that Facebook was down. So on Wednesday, I was trying to get on to do the knit along, the last day of the knit along. I was getting so pissed off, and I was thinking people were waiting like you were today. I was getting so mad, and I kept trying, and I kept posting, trying just to post, I'm really sorry, I'm trying, and nothing would post, and I just kept thinking people are sitting there and hating me. And then I Googled it. I Googled, is Facebook having problems, and it said it was down. Susie Q made it. Did you make it? Oh, you made it here. Because this is the person who made it. Oh my God, what? Felting Farmer Lady? Felting Farmer Lady made it. That's who made this rabbit, and it has a little basket too. It's super cute. Let's see. They were cool. And she was saying that her daughter walked this rat on a leash. And then Carly says, I'm excited for the knit along. I'm excited for the knit along too, you guys, but I have to be honest with you, like, I'm so worried that I'm going to start it and then hate it, like hate the colors, because I don't know. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to do a fade. I'm going to knit a fade so that it fades, instead of it looking like it's striped, right? Okay, because if I was just to take and because I have a gradient, I dyed a gradient. So dark gray, lighter gray, black. So I have this gradient, right? But if I don't knit it like a fade, it's going to look like color blocking, even though because the colors are they're really close, but still, and I don't want it to look like that. I want it to fade into the next one, into the next one, into the next one. So I'm going to knit this exactly like a fade. So and the principle of that, if I say it right now after I've had a couple beers, I might say it stupidly, and I don't want to. Basically, you're decreasing the original color and increasing the new color by rows, right? So like if I had 4 rows of the black, then I would do one row of the new color, if my original color was black, and then I would do 4 rows. Then I would go from 5 to 4 of the original color, and then I would be decreasing that color and increasing the second color, to then when I got to 5 and then on, it would be on of the second color. And it's fairly easy to do, I think. I mean, I do it. What the worst part is it's really easy to do unless you want to be perfect about it, because that's the hard part for me, because I'll be like, was I on 4 or was I on, and then I'll have to, and sometimes I just end up doing my own thing, but it still looks good. It still looks good. I mean, basically, the best thing to do is to be able to have colors, if you're going to do that, and you really want them to blend, is the colors have to be really similar, and I tried to do that. I tried to do, like, it's almost indiscernible when you're going from black to the steel gray, and then, but then as I start getting lighter, there's more of a delineation, but from black to the gray, to like the first 3 colors, the color that it's really close, but there's a definite definition. So, I mean, that would be an interesting thing to do too, you guys, if anybody wants to do a fade. And I'm gonna dye, and the funny thing is I keep dyeing different yarn. I keep dyeing the same idea, but in different ways. Like I told you and showed you that I'd done some of the yarn in sort of like it's like a quasi, it was a quasi speckle dye, but not really. It was more like a glaze. It's more like a glaze, speckle and glaze. And then Miss Shelley says that she's been saving the glazed yarn. She won. Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Okay, so what I wanted to, I told you guys I was going to do the yarn. I was going to do the yarn, and then I didn't do the yarn. I didn't make the yarn, but because I really need to put that class up, but I just didn't have time. Trying to think. I want to do a giveaway. I can do a giveaway of, okay, I'm going to do a giveaway of Angelina. Like, I'm going to give 7 colors away. So 7 colors, and I don't know how much. I'm just going to put it in a bag, and then you guys, 7 colors of Angelina. I have probably 30 colors, but I'm going to do 7. 7's a great number. I have to write this down or I'm going to forget. Does anybody, everybody, I'm guessing that most people know what Angelina is, right? So I'm going to grab some and show. 7 Angelinas. 7. And then we have to put there is a file started in Ready Method. So it's facebook.com/groups/Ready Method. And we're supposed to put our any free patterns. Angelina. I have so many colors. It's really for the scrap boxes, which I did, you guys, I did make a scrap box color. And I'm going to put one up. Oh my gosh. Shannon says she has a sweater started, but she didn't know how to knit in the round. Knitting in the round is it's the best. Knitting in the round is amazing. And then Humble Albie says she's getting ready for a knee surgery and she needs a new project. You guys, and this is the thing. I love the idea of like doing teamwork, because as you know, I don't know, as we get older, it just seems like, I don't know, you know, especially if you're a team, like a team type player, a lot of people are retired, lucky them, but that means that they worked early on. Or, you know, like on, let's say, if you're, you know, we're in sports when you were younger, and then as we get older, you know, that's why we, like, I think end up being in groups, you know, like there's like book reading groups, and I don't know, and a lot of them are online, which is sort of sad, but I think that if you do stuff like we do live streaming and stuff and then can connect that way, then it's a really good way of, you know, it's more personal. I don't know, because I want to know people. I do. I want to know people. I want to meet the people that, like, I visit with, like you guys. I wish I could meet all of you. But that obviously isn't doable, right? Is it? I would love it if it was. You guys are like, stop putting lipstick on. I know my lips are dry because I keep putting Retin-A on my face, and then I get it on my lips, and then my lips get really chapped from that. I think that you guys, oh my God. And then I got this thing. Okay, you know those scrubbers? They're silicone scrubbers. They're for the kitchen. They're like, okay, so they have like little, they have a lot of little teeth, right? Those things, that's what I scrub my face with. It's so good. It's way better than a pumice stone, because I can really hurt myself with a pumice stone. You're like, you don't. Yeah, I do actually. Sometimes I use a pumice stone on my face because I just feel like, you know, you just feel like you have grime, especially from being out there and I'm sweating and it's hot and there's so much dirt. And then the hay, you guys, the chaff hay, I can't even tell you, I hate the chaff hay so much. I'm so appreciative that I have it, but I hate feeding it. It takes so long, and I'm just blowing hay out of my nose forever. And I'll have like a layer on my skin, and so I take this, like the pumice stone. But now I have this silicone thing, and I love it because it like will peel your skin. It's so good. And as we get older, you know, our skin isn't the best. Look at all those fine lines. I hate it. I think I'm gonna, and well, I want to do a TCA peel on my face, but I wouldn't be ready in a week to do this. You guys are like, we actually don't care if you do this or not. Okay, let's see. Does anybody have a question that I can answer that's relevant? That is you can ask me a fiber question and I'll answer it. Want to? I'll give you some free information. You're like, we could just look it up on the internet. No, there's a lot of things I know that aren't on the internet. Oh, Diana, you're going to be shearing soon? What are you shearing? And then Michelle says, the community is half the reason I keep coming every Tuesday. When I'm finished with this, I'm going to try and start a fiber group. That's good. To make friends in my new area. I tried to start a fiber group here where people could come for free, and nobody came. But that was like years ago. In my area, there aren't any fiber people. Oh, it says, Shannon says she can work in the round now. That's good. Okay, and then, is that your peacocks in the background? Yes. It's peacocks. I'll say the number's different every time, but it's like 25 or 30, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit more. I don't even know, but it's a lot. I have a lot of peafowl. Tons of peafowl. I mean, that's why the other reason it would be so devastating if they came here to keep my animals. I don't even know what I would do. I think I would be like, do you guys remember the lady, the Ebola thing? She actually had a fever. She came from the Ebola area. This is the first time they had the scare here in the U.S. And they tried to keep her at the airport, and she basically somehow, she got an attorney, and they busted her out. And she had even had a fever, and they busted her out. Yeah, and so she actually won that deal, but I'm sure she had the money for, obviously the attorney wasn't free. But, maybe the attorney was free because there was a lot of publicity. But she ended up somehow, being able to get out of, having to be in quarantine. And it's that thing where, that's probably what I would do. I would, make a stand. I would take a stand. I wouldn't just willingly go and, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would make them, I would just wouldn't. And they actually said it's mandatory that we're going to kill your birds, not mine, but the people in Menifee. There's some neighborhoods where we're going to euthanize all of your birds. And we have the right to come on your property is another thing that they said. We have the right to come on your property. And that really actually kind of scared me. That they can just come on your property and just kill your stuff. It actually devastated me. The thought of that. Imagine being those people in Menifee and they just come on your property and kill all your animals. Even though they tested negative. They said even the places that we tested and the birds were negative, we're going to euthanize all of your birds. Diana raises alpacas. And then Liz is asking when my next writing method online class. We're going to put up a schedule. I think Kristen made one for me. I just haven't had time to look at it. And then Zone for Gardner says, are peafowl cold hardy? That I can't answer the question. That I don't think they would be super, super cold hardy. I mean, freezing, yes, but I don't think super cold. And I'll tell you why, because they're tropical, subtropical, something like that. Birds, because the ones come from India and the other ones come from Indonesia. And I think that I've read that they can tolerate some snow, but I think you have to have special things, because I think that part of the problem is the roosting with their feet. Freezing, I could be wrong, but in my mind, I think I remember reading this somewhere. And then Humble Albie, it says, and then, Shannon Graber saying that's so wrong, and I agree. And then Samantha Vincent says she'll be at Maffa and Maryland Sheep, and then she's hoping to see me. I hope to see you too, honestly. And then Humble Albie saying she is looking to get a couple of sheep and live in Ohio. Can you recommend a good beginner sheep that can handle the cold? And then Zone for Gardner is saying that it's terrifying. I think she's talking about them just euthanizing your birds and coming on your property. I really would have a problem with that. I just think you'd see me on the news. It's like killing my kids. I've had some of these peafowl for 10 years. I mean, I'd go freaking batshit crazy. They'd probably have to come with armed. I'm not shitting you. I'm not saying I would be armed, but I'm saying I would say you're not getting on my fucking property, and I would lock the gates. And then it would just get really ugly. Can't even think about it. I don't want to think about it. But anyway, okay. So the sheep. So Humble Albie, the best sheep I think that can handle the cold, even though they're a desert sheep. But I know because that they must be able to handle the cold, because one of the best breeders in the United States, or maybe even in the world, is in Pennsylvania. And doesn't Pennsylvania get snow? So I would say Corriedale is they're the sweetest breed, and they have such great wool. They really do. Corriedale is such a good breed, but you want to make sure you get the wool ones and not the ones that are bred for more meat, for like the people that take them to the fair to show them. You want to make sure that you get from a fiber, a flock of fiber animals, because the wool is incredibly different, to be honest with you, because they're breeding for something totally different. When you're breeding for meat, then, there's a negative correlation. If you breed for one trait, other traits go down. So the wool quality, if you're breeding for size and body, typically the fleece quality will go down, meaning quality for what we think of as being amazing, like meaning perfect, crimp, this kind of thing you wouldn't probably see where it's perfect. It would look more like a bad Romney or something. And then Jane says peacocks do survive here in Minnesota but need protection in the winter. Exactly. So something like I knew that there was something about I think it's their feet is part of the problem. And then Teresa's saying that she's in Minnesota too, and she's not sure how they're housed, but I know that they have to have something. And then Amber says I was on the other thread. Oh, Amber. And we're over here. I didn't delete it because of that, but I am going to delete it. Okay, so if you're on, wait, oh my God, you guys, wait. Let me see, wait, let me make sure. If you guys are over on, I have 2 Yarnitarian episode 15s going. One of them must have started. Let me see. Yes, okay, wait. Let me move this over here. I'm going to put where we are. Here's where we are. This is where we are because I had to move this. And then, hi, Ellie, Phineas Pratt, hi, and Christine, you guys have to go over to the other thing. And Jen E. Eddington said, my friend went through the last foot and mouth in Britain. They had pits dug for their dairy cattle. It stopped one farm away, and they were spared. They moved to Tasmania. Oh my God. So you guys, if you're over on the one, I'm sorry I did that. See, what I had to do is I had to do 2 because this one wouldn't start. The one that you're on, Christine and Ellie Mae and Phineas Pratt, that. And then Amber's like, y'all click on the YouTube link above in chat. You guys are probably wondering, Eileen, Miami sucks for fiber people. I tried to start a spinning group and it was such a fail. No one came. Oh, what happened to me too? And then Ellie is saying peacocks in the background. And Patty Van Gordon. And then she says that it makes it seem like, well, you guys do know me now. I mean, you do. I mean, honestly, this is exactly who I am. Except probably in person, I probably swear more. You're like, oh, wow, that's such a bonus. No, it is true. I do have a tendency to get a little flavorful in my language. And I'm sorry. You know what? There's a country western song. And I listen to country western, and I love the stories in the songs are so awesome. And there's one, gosh, I love that I don't know the name of it. But one of them says that when he used to think it was cool. It's talking about when he was young. He used to think it was cool when he would basically use the Lord's name in vain, and then he got older and then he realized that it's not an exclamation point is essentially what the message is. And then the other one, there's one about children dying, and that one is heartbreaking. It reminds me of Jory. And every time I listen to it, it's like gut-wrenching. But there's something about them. I think there's a lot of them that are sultry, and a lot of them are funny. A lot of them are sad. I will say there's one that says, the cancer took her from me. That's one of the lyrics, and I'm like, okay, that song, I always just get rid of that song. I'm like, that's not a good lyric. That's a really sucky lyric. I don't know why, and I think it's an older song. But there's just a lot of I love country western. I absolutely love country western because I feel like you're like that you're identifying with them. If you sometimes you guys can identify with me. That's what it feels like. That's a peacock. Isn't it beautiful? You're like, no. I love that sound. I love it. A lot of people don't. I think you have to, some people, it's from my childhood. We lived on Pudding Creek Road in Fort Bragg, and I used to hear that at night when I was a little girl. And I think that's why I like it now. Anyway, let's see. Why was that message held for review? I am Super fucked up is what that is what my girl said about them killing your animals, Amber Pilkington. And then Christina Luoma, hi from Montana. We are finally in the 30s. Hey, Chris Luoma, I know there's Luomas in Fort Bragg. Myra Ness, hi. Do you like how I screamed? I'm okay. I've got to go back over to the other one, and then Lisa says, "Is this where we're supposed to be?" Yes. And Christine's, hi, Natalie. Oh God, I missed you guys. Are like, why isn't she saying our name and talking to us and saying anything? I didn't shut the other one down because then I was afraid you guys wouldn't be able to find this one, and you're like, we couldn't find it because you had the other one. I don't know. Isn't two better than one? Okay. It is the love or hate sound, Lisa says, yes. And then Miss Shelley says for a second she thought her kids were crying. And then Christine says she loves all kinds of music, depends on my mood. Yes, my husband and I, when we're getting busy, we listen to classic rock. And you know what I really, Joe Cocker. Oh, I watched a documentary on him, you guys. Oh my God. Like, I don't know how his wife, it would be very hard to be married to that man. Of course, people, are thinking it would be really hard to be married to you. It is hard to be married to me. And then Christine says she's a cusser too. I like that. And then Christine says 2 Yarnitarians at the same time. I know. It's because I can do that. I can do that because I'm so special. No, it's because, like I said, it goes to one, this feed goes to Teradek, and Terra, which is, it's like in the ethers somewhere in Orange County, Irvine. And then it splits it. That's why it can go to both Namaste Farms pages, and it can go to the YouTube. So I don't know how many channels I can have going at once, but I think it's like 5 or 6, and I pay, I don't know, I'm like $30 a month. You guys, I cut the cord. We cut the cord. I couldn't take it anymore. I told my husband, I'm so sick of paying Dish Network. I got pissed. We pay I think it was like $129 or $145 a month. Okay, I probably get that much pleasure from it, to be honest with you, but I just got pissed off one day. I got really mad. That we're paying for this, and it's just so stupid. It's just such a stupid thing. So, why don't we just get, Fire Stick, and why don't we get, not Hulu, there's another one. God darn it, you guys. My brain dead right now. Anyway, so our TV went out in our kitchen, and we got another. It's amazing how cheap TVs are now. 1080p and I want to say it's 32 inches or something like that, and it was like $199. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like a Vizio. It's amazing. How are TVs so cheap? It truly is amazing. It's shocking to me because I remember when oh my God, I remember TVs were so expensive. It's like your little phone costs, what, $600, the little iPhone? And this giant TV that's got Google, it's got the, Chrome, it's amazing to me. That's what a racket the phones are. You're like, wow, you are getting old. I am getting old, obviously, because isn't that a thing that people do when you get old, is you have to show all your scars? I did that today, right? I show the scars. I talked about my lab work. Oh my God, I am getting old. You guys, when I stop talking about sex, it's over. I'll be fine. Okay. Let's see. And then Pam says she'd die if they killed my alpaca boys. I know. Roku. That's right. Miss Shelley got Roku. And then, I enjoyed reading your article in Ply Magazine today. Cheryl, I have an article in Ply. I didn't know that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you read it. What one? And then Christine saying she got sick of satellite TV, and then because it's bullshit, and the Netflix and Amazon Prime have a shit ton of things to watch. I watched The Naked Archaeologist. I was hoping he would be naked. Anyway, he's not. And I thought that was really interesting, and it was free. And then Humble Albie says she can make a sailor blush, and she thinks it's because she's surrounded by a military family. There's something about swearing. I like it. And you know what? They say that people that swear, who's they? I don't know. Somebody did some study somewhere. I have no idea the veracity of this study, that people that swear are more honest. I don't know. Oh, and then Teresa says her dog's looking around wondering where the sound came from. And so I didn't know I had an article in Ply. Is it the Corrido one? It might be the Corriedale one. I have to go over to the other one. Okay, let me see. Are you, Eileen Sotero's dying? Are you dying or dying? And then Susan Kobus says, I use an old-fashioned antenna that I have to move for different channels. And then Ellie Mae says, I'm not old. Yes. No, I am. You guys, that was proof. That was total proof. If you have to talk about your lab report and then you show your scars and then you start bitching and moaning about like 100 and because you know what, technically, like, so we don't, my husband and I don't go out to dinner very much because, and I'm not trying to, cry poverty, obviously, but I'm telling you, like, it's tight, like, it's really tight. We are in the, we're in the negative every month. But, so we might go out and just put it on a credit card. And what we do now is, because a glass of wine is like, I don't drink wine, but it's like $16, right? $15 or $16. So if you buy 6 bottles of wine at Ralph's, you get like 40% off. They don't and so they actually lose on a lot of their wine, right? So you can get like a $30 bottle of wine. I mean, just do the math. So it's worth it to buy the 6 bottles and then get 40% off. And so then you'll get an $18 corkage fee. So it's like that's what we do. So then Sean will have be able to have more than one glass of wine, and then we just try to be smart. And we go to we go to places where we really only go to Anthony's. This is the one place we go, but they have a lot of food, and it's like an Italian restaurant, and they. And I am not a huge eater, but he'll have like, I don't like leftovers, by the way. I can't stand leftovers, but he'll have food for like 3 days after that because he'll eat my leftovers and then he'll eat his. So it's like feeding essentially him for that amount of time. Plus, we ate that one night. But it is really fun to go out. Why am I even bringing that up? I have no idea. I don't know, but it's so fun because the person's trapped with you. Like at home, that they can walk off and do stuff, but Sean's trapped right there with me. Like he's sitting right there because I decided I usually want to sit at the bar and eat. This time I wanted to sit across from this little table, like it's like on bar stools that's in the bar, so I could look. But then I wasn't close enough. So then after we ordered, we moved to the bar, and then I made him the poor guy. I wanted him to look at me, but you're at the bar. I know I'm a little demanding, but he can't go anywhere. And it's just cool to if you go out, that's part of the fun of going out, I think. For me it is because I really don't care. I mean, obviously I want, good food, but I'm just not a big foodie. So, and I know what I'm going to, it's always going to be the same thing. I'm a creature of habit when it comes to food. Like I have pretty much the same thing every night for dinner. And you're like, yeah, a varied diet. Sometimes it's going to be hot tamales and M&Ms, and sometimes it's going to be Flamin Hot Cheetos and M&Ms. That's my diet. No, I have salad. I do have salad. I usually have salad with steak on it. You guys are like, oh, we get to know her diet too. We're so excited. My God. And then Sweet Knits Podcast says, I don't like leftovers either. And I won't even get the hantavirus. Myra says she streamed. Yeah, Myra's off the grid. I'm really jealous about that, Myra. And then Christina says, farm people swear for sure. And Deanne Ross, hello from VA. I'm just guessing that means Virginia. And then I'm just smart like that. And leftover meat is high histamine, really? I don't eat leftover meat. I really don't. I'm really a non-leftover eater. Okay, I'm reading. Let's see. Amber says, and bitching about millennials. Oh, I know. And that's also why I'm old, because I bitch about millennials. God, you guys, I'm sorry. Doesn't everybody bitch about millennials? Except even millennials bitch about millennials. Come on. You and I both know that. And then Lisa wonders that I died 9 pounds of fleece locks the other night, lost track of time, but it was such an aha learning experience, and now I want to die more and more. I wish I could go to Gettysburg for your class with Sherry Tinney. Yeah, I wish you could go to Sherry Tinney's class with me too, because that's going to be a blast. It's going to be very fun. Amber, you had to bring up the bitching about millennials. And Cheryl says it's about Corriedale. Oh, it's about Corriedale sheep. Okay, yeah. I love, actually, Corriedale, because I love Corriedales. I do think, I mean, if you were going to have a perfect sheep, and you guys, you have to understand, I don't sell them. So, because I don't have enough. I think now my flock is up to maybe 35 of those. And, it's hard to get sheep from him, from Rupert. So, and I have to have them shipped from Pennsylvania. So, it's just anyway. So I don't sell them. So I'm not doing it because I'm trying to sell you guys sheep. I'm telling you, they are an amazing sheep. They really are. They're the closest thing to a perfect sheep I think that one could get. And I guess the argument could be that Targhee could be possibly the same, but I don't have Targhee, so I don't know. But you know, these crossbred sheep, medium wools, there are some really great breeds. They're pretty darn docile, and their fleeces, not the down breeds, but not the meat sheep, but the Corriedale crossbred, or the crossbreds like the Targhee or Corriedale. I mean, they're just so cool. They're just really cool, and they have beautiful, amazing fleeces, and they're really easy to deal with. And after dealing with Wensleydales and Teeswaters and having, you guys have no idea how many you guys are. Here she goes. She's going to talk about her bruises again. No, you have no idea how many bruises I have. It's absurd and obscene. It looks like there's something wrong with me because I get really beat up by these sheep. Okay, and so Darlene wants to know what kind of lip gloss. Okay, this is the kind that I'm wearing right now. It's Dose, I think it's called. It's the stupidest. You can't even read it. Wait. Dose. And it's like a basically a nude color. Wait a second, I can read the color. Bear with me. That's what it's called. Dose of Colors. Bear with me. And I bought it at Ulta. Ulta is where I bought it. And I actually really like it, and it does stay on a long time, I think. And then Ms. Shelley says she's not the only millennial here. Oh my gosh, and Samantha says, nope, I'm 27. 26, you guys. Oh, and the other hack that I have, besides using that silicone thing, and it's not really a hack. Everybody's going to be like, that's so stupid. We already know it. But I know that I used to laugh at my mother-in-law because she was like, could have cornstarch and put cornstarch. So I used cornstarch for my, after I put my foundation on, I used cornstarch over my entire face. And then I go just a light dusting of like some color that's actually the color of my face. But to set it, I use cornstarch. That's my new thing. I've been doing it now for, I want to say, because I ran out of the banana stuff, what is it called? The banana powder. You guys are like, we fucking don't care what you put on your face. No, care please. But anyway, so that's what I use. And it's obviously quite a bit cheaper than, I mean, you guys know, I can't believe how expensive makeup is. Like, the foundation that I use, somebody had a brand new tube of the exact color and left it here. And normally I write the people and say, I have your blah-de-blah, but this time I didn't. And it's $45. And the reason I didn't actually wasn't because I didn't want to give it back to them, which I didn't. It was because I was gone out of town, and like 5 different sets of people had went through that, and Jenny found it because Jenny's an obsessive cleaner. Like, she's way better cleaner than I am, and she found it like under the couch, and I'd been under the couch. So it actually could have been from like August. I have no idea. Because she found it. It didn't necessarily wasn't there. You're like, go ahead, tell yourself the con. So you would rip them off for $45. I actually do always send things. I'm sending a guy has a it's like a bowl for his bong or his like water pipe or his vaporizer or something. I found that and I'm sending that back to him. And then someone left their shoes. I sent that back to them. And then somebody left their phone cord. They wanted their phone cord back. It was like a lightning cable, and I said, sure, I'll send that back to you. So, and I paid for it. I paid to send it back. And people are always leaving things, and then somebody left their dog. They bought a dog, it's like a octagonal, like a playpen for them, and some toys, and then they had some. They left all of that here. Like, to ship that would have been a lot, but I wrote him. I was like, you left your, and I said all the things he left. He's like, yeah, just keep them all. I was like, but your wife's bracelets and her underwear. He's like, no, just keep it all. The underwear I threw away. The bracelets, I didn't really want them. Jenny didn't want them. They're just sitting in my house. But Jenny used the dog thing until one of the dogs like scratched through it. You guys are like, God, could you just say they left something? Okay, one time somebody left a condom wrapper, and then they didn't leave I didn't know where the condom was, and it freaked me out that this is the God's truth. My horror was that somebody was going to like lose something and look for it and find the actual condom, because the condom wasn't in the trash. So I freaked out over that. I must have spent like 45 minutes looking for it. And the rooms are not that big, you guys. But I was sure that maybe, I don't know, like maybe someone, you never know what someone's going to, okay, somebody told me, I think I might have told you this, they were like hooking their phone up to the television. And to do it, it has the logins for like the Google logins, because it's for Google, like the dongle, even though it's part of the television. And someone, like, people had named themselves like fuckhead and like shitwad and like I'm not kidding you. Like, this is the names that people had. And they're so, like, when the guy goes to put his name in and log in, he sees all these vulgar, and I was really embarrassed. I was really embarrassed. I was like, I'm sorry, but I still haven't looked through and cleared it. I probably should. Anyway, that's that. Let's see. Oh my God. And then Darlene saying that the wearing dirty dog shampoo. Oh my God, you guys, you guys have no idea. And I tried to cut my finger off and these were 9-point shears. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky because my finger can actually fit right through the middle of the blades. And it's still, I mean, you like, and look at my fingers getting all like, what is this? It's all crooked. You guys, it's part of being old. Stop it! Stop it! We need a name for ourselves like the Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony Benz. You know, I still am trying to figure out where, what is it? Is Rush's guy, what is it, Snerdley or whatever? I don't know what his name. Like, who wants to be named Snerdley? I don't know. I don't listen to it, but I know I've heard that. I think it's like Snerdley or something. Okay. Then I'm back over here. I heard Corriedale are pushy. Are they calm? My Teeswaters are pushy. Deanne, Corriedales are so sweet. Teeswaters are, people get mad at me, but I'm not kidding you. Like, all these bruises, you're like, there's not even a bruise there anymore. I'm not kidding you. I am so bruised up from them. Always. They are, but I have probably now, I don't know, Teeswaters, I probably have 50 or 60. 50 maybe. 50 or 60. And then the Corriedales, like I said, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30. I don't know. I should probably count. And then ever since they stopped the program, what is it, the scrapey program, now I used to keep records of, like I would know exactly how many animals I had at any time because they can come in and inspect you. But since they stopped that program, except for export, which I'm not exporting sheep, so ever since then, now I actually don't know how many I have. Exactly. And I have a lot of goats, which I have to tell you, like they're gonna have to go down the road because they're just too, not all of them because I love mohair, but I'm telling you, they're just a pain in the ass. I just can't. I just can't handle the lice thing. The have to, and then the scurf. I just can't. I cannot. I mean, I had to throw away. I sheared. I want to say, was it in that pen? There's probably like 12 goats in this pen, and every one of their fleeces was was ruined. There were like 3 of them that were pretty, really nice, and the other ones were ruined. It just made me physically ill. And I have, another pen like with, I want to say like, is there like another, 10 or 11 in there, and then another. I want to say I have probably 45 Angora goats. And it's just really brutal, especially, if so they're just so difficult to take care of, and they have so many ways to have their fleeces ruined. Usually, we're always worried about vegetation, but then you have to worry about lice and scurf on top of it. Fuck that. I mean, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. And to shear them, they're so wiggly, like their bodies are so bendable and flexible. And then the horns, I love the horns because they're a handle, but I hate the horns because they gaff the back of my legs. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the red hair gene. I'm not saying because Sean's dad was a ginge. I mean, my kids all have the ginge gene, but I have to tell you, so like red merle dogs or like red anything, I have red goats. Those bastards bite. So I have ones that are factor. So the color factor. So they're white, but they have the red gene in them. I bred them back to whites, which the next generation will be white, so that you can make your reds better. My reds are really, really good. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And so I have like 15 or 20 goats that bite me when I'm shearing. They bite the back of your legs, and I'm telling you, and reach up and bite your boobs because you have to be leaning over them to get the belly, and they'll reach their heads back and grab hold of my nipple. I'm telling you, I get so pissed off. I get so mad. My anger level, it's like airborne. Because it's hard work and you're tired, and then they get a hold of you, and it really does hurt. It pinches really hard. You guys are like, okay, we got it, Natalie. We got it. But I do have some nice mohair. I actually do. And I'm going to share, there's some babies that you guys, my animals really got away from me because of me being in that terrible headspace. And I'm angry with myself. I'm angry with myself for like being mentally gone for almost a year. Actually, it was literally a couple of days short of a year. And then Deanne saying, goats are so hard, my buck ran through my... They are so irritating. Oh my God, So Girl Clothing says, what have I missed? Just everything. My rat baby pouch. You missed the rat baby pouch. My friend said, don't ever show that, ever. And then we're talking about the great article in Fly Magazine. Thank you. This is why I didn't know if it was a great article. One, I didn't send pictures. And two, they usually send it to you, and they probably did. And they want you to go over it and make sure that it's because they edit it, right? And to make sure that that's an accurate representation or whatever. And I don't remember getting that. So I didn't ever sign off on it. So I'm really glad that it was a good one. My favorite article I wrote for them was, it was the one on success. Like that one was my favorite one. But it was better before they edited it. But obviously they have to edit it further what they believe. But in my opinion, it was really heartfelt. And they like took the guts out of it. Like the guts that were just like, there was stuff in there that was really heartfelt and gut wrenching and like really helpful for people, in my opinion, because so many people are fearful in life. And my big thing is that you have to have courage. You have to have courage and resilience. And I even myself struggle with that. I struggle with that. And I have a lot of, I'm a very fearful person, but I have a tremendous amount of courage. So while I'm fearful, I force myself to get through it. I really do. It's like, I think if there's a fire, walk through that fire. I do. I feel like that. And so, I just feel like I feel like your lives would be everybody's life would be so much better if they really would just go head first into what they are afraid of. I don't think any of us should die with, of course we can look back at we can reflect, because looking back is usually, they say, the past is in the past for a reason. But if you reflect, there's things, of course, that we would change, right? But it would be terrible to look back and think of all the things that we didn't attempt or we didn't do out of fear. I think everybody, if you have something that you want to do, you should do it and not make excuses why. That's the thing about the Landmark Forum too, is it's about, it really helps you see accountability. I'm telling you, the Landmark Forum, even though it's just that first course is just like a little glimmer into, and I thought I was such an authentic and responsible person about my personality and owning my shit, and realizing, and then seeing that I actually was not owning my shit. That's why I was vacant for an entire year, and all my animals' fleeces are ruined. I didn't ruin, some of them aren't ruined just because they're great fleeces. They didn't get ruined. And then the other, like I took care of the yearling ones, that I'll tell you. I did take care of those. So why would I take care of those and not the others? Because the yearlings at the time are lambs, and I was changing their blankets, and they aren't big. It was easy. The ones that are harder are, and my dogs won't work anymore except this one, except for Nesta. And Nesta she is not as good as I need her to be. She's really good if I was a trainer, but I'm not a trainer. I just need the bitch to work, literally. And so, it's things like this is the kind of thing that drives me crazy. And if you have sheep, she gathers them out for me. I grab the one I need, and I say, that'll do. And as I'm pulling on the one to get it to the shearing stand, which is like 10 feet away out of the gate, when I say that'll do, she will run past me, which scares the sheep and shoots the sheep backward. So now I've got like 190-pound sheep pulling me back into the pen. It's stuff like that. Or when she gathers, she'll gather, and she'll be too wide, and she'll be out too far. Like she has a very big bubble, which is good because she's not scaring the sheep. But when she does that, they just all start. So they start coming this way, and then when she's way out, and I'm saying, come in, come in, come in. So they're come in, come in, come in. And as she's coming in, they're leaving. The other thing is she likes to work the ends and not the middle. So she'll go she'll go too far, and I'll try to stop her in the middle. I'm like there, so that she'll stay right in the middle, so that neither side of the flock will leave. And she just wants to be at the end of the pendulum. And so, of course, if you're way over here, they're going to go that way. And if you're way over here, they're going to go that way. And I just get she's not like my other dogs, but my other dogs are old, and they'll just quit in the middle now. They'll just be like, you know what, Natalie, I'm tired right now, and go fuck yourself. I'm just going to lay down. I'm serious. I'm like, wait, I need you. And they're just like, no, I'm not feeling it right now. Yeah. I can't blame him. One's 12. But still. And then Deanne says, I can't imagine 50 teas of water. I might have more, to be honest with you. And then Eileen said she wishes she was more like that. She lost confidence when her husband left her for another woman. I'm telling you guys, Eileen, if you want to get over that, I'm telling you, Landmark Forum. It'll be done. It's an event. You lost your confidence. You lost your confidence, but you don't need to. That was an event and it happened and that's it. And there's no reason for it. And that's the thing. I mean, I understand if my husband left me, I got to be honest with you. I'd be completely gutted. I mean, you guys, I would be complete and utter mess, but then I would have to go to my tools. Just like when my daughter killed herself. You go to your tool, you think about the worst thing that can happen to you, and then it happens to you, and either you rise, either you figure out how to get out of it, climb your way out of it, or you let it kill you and crush you. And I think, especially if you have children, a person has children, that you have to show them how to overcome and not let things gut you. And so I had a really good favor was done for me when my daughter killed herself. Was my friend, her brother died when they were a year apart, just like my two daughters were. And she said my brother got in a ATV accident and hit his femoral artery and bled out and died, and my mother was never the same. And so what it told Jennifer was that her brother was more important than her. The one that died was more important than the one that's alive. Even though she didn't hold it against her mom, but her mom was, and I didn't want to do that to my children, to tell them that the one that was the most important is the one that's dead, and that I'm just going to suffer and I'm just going to mourn her, and I'm not going to look at the fact that I have you, and that was really a gift that Jennifer gave me without knowing. I mean, people throw you lifelines in life, and sometimes you don't realize it's a lifeline. You have to look for lifelines. That's kind of the thing, is it didn't have to be a lifeline, but I looked for a lifeline. I'm always looking. I'm always looking for lifelines. That's even the Landmark thing. That's why I went, because I wanted a lifeline, because my life was shit. And I hated myself. And I actually still struggle with hating myself, to be honest with you. I am a person that, it's very easy for me to loathe myself. And so, and that's obviously not a good thing. I mean, life is very challenging. And then when you hate yourself, it's almost unbearable, right? So, but now I understand I have choices. And I can't, that's a racket. Loathing myself is a racket. It's like a total con. And so I just try to practice the things that I learned every day to make my life better. And I am better because I'm actually doing shit rather than falling apart. I'm here. That's one reason I'm better. Okay. And then, is that my blind lamb? My blind lamb died, but that's its friend. I want to just pound its little prune right now. Okay, I'm looking. And then his own regard says, I love that rat pouch thing. It's cute, but it's also hilarious. I don't know why I thought it was going to be so... Are my boobs showing? I'm sorry. Weird. Oh my God, my boobs. Wait, I have to be careful. And then Amber says, frustrating. I got some once that was full of goat head stickers. Those hurt so bad. You guys are Yarnitarians. That's the cutest thing ever. That's so cute. You are Yarnitarians. Is that the greatest name? I thought it was such a great name, and I got the website years ago. It was years and years and years ago, knowing that obviously since my everything, the thing is that the part that is the part that I really do is the part that a lot of knitters don't know about. I want to just pound that lamb's prune. I really do. Hang on. I wish my husband would feed that. Sean, are you listening? It's going nuts. It sounds like it's gonna croak. It's driving me. It's hitting me in the. I'm gonna kill it place. Okay. Oh, you know what I could give away? But I don't know if you guys would want one. Let me see. I sell them for big money. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe I have to do for the knit along. Okay, wait. Oh shit. You guys, okay, wait, I want to show you this, because is this going to show well, or is the color going to look bad? Because it degrades. So look. Is this looking good, or is this stupid? It's the iridescence. Okay, wait, hang on. There. Can you guys see the iridescence, or is it just dumb? This isn't what I was talking about, because I have bags, shopping bags. And like I put beads on them, but I haven't put beads on any. And so they're like, I put really cool things on them. Like copper. I can't see, I'm waiting. I really want to pound that thing's prune right now. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna give away Angelina. If anybody wants, you guys, I'm gonna, you know, it looks terrible. That is not what it looks like, you guys. You guys are like, she's insane. It does not look like that. It does not look like that. It's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful color I've ever seen. That's probably not true. It's probably like, okay, let's see. Okay, so anyway, okay, I'm just gonna pick somebody randomly. You have to say, it is peacockish, but how come you guys, because on my screen it looks horrible. And Ms. Shelley says, no one complains about giveaways. Okay, I'm giving away Angelina, 7 different colors of Angelina, and I'm going to give some combed top that's in a cool colorway. Oh, somebody's feeding the lamb. Good, because I was going to spaz out. I was going to go and throttle it. You guys, I think I'm going bald. I think I have male pattern baldness. I said that to my husband today, and he's like, that's ridiculous. I swear my hair is getting really thin, and it used to be to the back of my knees, and it's not anymore. I don't know what's happening to me. It's part of getting old. It's male pattern baldness. That's so great. Okay, so yes, say yes to Angelina, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a thing, and I'm just gonna randomly put my cursor on it. And hi, Lois. And then Christine says she can see how beautiful it is. And Christina Luoma says she loves my videos and I'm amazing. That was really nice. And I want Eileen to get better, by the way. And then Myra says it's a beautiful. You guys, I think I am going bald. Or maybe I just have thin hair. Okay, anybody who wants Angelina, just say that, and then I'm going to do it on each episode. So it'll be 2. Okay, let's see on which comment thread. Here. So get your name and just anyone that you want, because I'm going to do it on both. 2 people are going to get it. Do you like how I did that? So nerdy. It's like, okay, here. All right, here we go. I'm going to just go like this, and then I'm going to pick. Okay, Amber Pilkington, and then she's one, and I'm going on the other one. So you guys that didn't win, you can go on the other thread and put your name in right now. I'll wait a couple seconds, and then so the rat thing is cute, kind of. He does have a little nose. I think it's because his eyes are crooked. Like I didn't put his eyes in very well. That's why he looks stupid. And maybe I needed to get his ears, to stand up better. I don't know. I'd put my baby in there. You're like, yeah, well, you had 5, so like the 6th one, you're just like, you'd throw it in anything, probably. Okay, so I'm giving more time, and then I'm going to do this to the Angelina. See, okay. It's Eileen Sotero, yes, to Fiverr. So Eileen Sotero and Amber Pilkington. I know Amber's address, so I can send it to her, but Eileen, and you guys, I don't like use you can ask Phineas Pratt. I don't use your guys' address for like other things like mail. I don't put it on my mailing list. So you're safe. And I'm going to make sure I give you guys nice colors. They're all nice colors. I mean, what ones aren't? My favorite are the metallic ones, like copper ones. Okay, you guys, I'm going. It could be a yeast. You guys, my neck. So did I tell you, remember the formication thing I told you where I felt like there were bugs? Well, it stopped doing bugs, and now it just burns like crazy. It burns so bad, and it feels like my skin, actually, it feels like somebody burnt it. Like when I touch my skin, it feels like it's going to have like a blister. That's how bad it is. I know I was talking about this last week, but Sean like was pushing on it, and for like a day, it didn't do that. So I think it's the space. I think that my disc space is gone, and so it's like pressing down, and it's making it fire. And you can't even believe how much medicine I have to take to stop it from burning. Like it's absurd. I have to take this is no kidding. I have to take a Soma with 2 Neurontin and a half of Vicodin. This is no shit. And with my Fiorinol with codeine, and then some naproxen. That's what it takes, and I have to go work like that. But I'm able actually to do it, oddly enough. I must have a really high metabolism. Anyway, okay, you guys. So I'm going to send that stuff. I need you guys to send me it sucks to get old. I hate it. Lol. I need Allison Sotero and to send me her address. You can send it to info@woolshampoo.com. info@woolshampoo, like sheepswoolshampoo.com. And I hope to see you guys either tomorrow in the rest of the knit along or next week. And next week I am going to have yarn. Damn it, I'm going to have yarn. I have yarn dye because I have all of that, and I'm hopefully going to have that sale this weekend. I have to talk to my girl Kristen, and I'm going to have lots of top, and I'm going to have a lot of beautiful fleece and tons of boas and mohair. I'm going to have everything. Just the usual. You guys, I can't even get in this studio anymore. Okay, love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week, and bless you, all of you, my Yarnitarians. We're all Yarnitarians. In the end, baby, that's what we want.